During the first half of the 20th century, 2 world wars took place, causing heavy loss of lives and money. People then felt an urgent need to establish peace. After the First World War, the League of Nations, the peace organization, was created, but it failed in its objective. Destruction after the Second World War strengthened the idea of establishing the international organization, the United Nations. It was established on the 24th of October, 1945. This day is celebrated as the United Nations Day. The United Nations encourages all nations to be aware of the responsibility of maintaining world peace. All the nations that accept the Charter, that is, a written constitution or description of organization's functions, can become its member. All the member nations enjoy an equal status in the organization. It is an organization of sovereign nations. It is binding on all the member countries to resolve their international issues only through peaceful means. Let's now, in brief, study the main objectives of the United Nations: to enhance international peace and security, to develop friendly relations among nations, to resolve all international problems peacefully, to protect and promote human rights and freedom. The United Nations coordinates the activities of various countries in order to achieve the above objectives. Let's now acquaint ourselves with the 6 main organs of the United Nations. Organs of the United Nations: 1. General Assembly. 2. Security Council. 3. Economic and Social Council. 4. International Court of Justice. 5. Trusteeship Council. 6. Secretariat. The headquarters of United Nations and all other organs are in New York, except the International Court of Justice. The office of the International Court of Justice is in The Hague in Netherlands. Let's now see the structure of each of these organs and their functions. The General Assembly structure. The representatives of all member countries of the United Nations are members of the General Assembly. Till
2011, there were 193 member countries
in the General Assembly. While voting in the General Assembly, every nation has the right to cast only one vote. Srimati Vijayalakshmi Pandit was the first lady to become the chairperson of the United Nations General Assembly in 1953. Functions of the General Assembly. The General Assembly has the right to pass resolutions regarding issues of international peace and security. It discusses reports received from the Security Council and passes the UN budget. It appoints non-permanent members of the Security Council and also the members of the Economic and Social Council. During its sessions, they discuss important international issues. Therefore, the UN General Assembly is considered to be an important forum for discussion on international questions. Now let's learn about the Security Council structure. It has a total of 15 members. The 5 permanent members of the Security Council are the United States of America, United Kingdom, Russia, France, and China. The remaining 10 are non-permanent members elected from among the other member countries for a period of 2 years. The permanent members have veto power, which means that they have the right to reject any decision. Opposition by any one of these members rejects the decision taken. Functions of Security Council. The Security Council maintains international peace and security, tries to resolve all disputes between nations, and takes military or economic action against countries which behave in a very aggressive manner. Now, let's study the structure and function of the Economic and Social Council. Structure. It was established to coordinate the social and economic functions of the UN. It has a total number of 54 members. Functions of Economic and Social Council. Now, let's see its functions. This council initiates discussions on the global level on questions of poverty, social and economic inequality, apartheid, etc. This council creates awareness among people regarding their rights and freedom. It also undertakes projects about social, cultural and educational issues. Let's look at the next organ, the International Court of Justice. Structure. There are a total number of 15 judges in the International Court. They are chosen by the Security Council and General Assembly. Functions of the International Court of Justice. Its main function is to resolve problems between the member countries, provide the right interpretation to international laws, norms and traditions, etc. Now let's study the next organ, the Trusteeship Council. This council was mainly formed after the Second World War. The purpose of this council was to make people capable enough to run their own government. Till 1994, the United Nations helped such territories. Once the Palau Islands in the Pacific Ocean became independent, the Trusteeship Council was dissolved on the 1st of November 1994. Now let's learn about the last and sixth main organ of the United Nations, Secretariat. Structure. It looks after the administrative functions of the United Nations. The chief of the Secretariat is called the UN Secretary-General. He is elected for the period of 5 years by the General Assembly and the Security Council. Functions of the Secretariat. Under the guidance of the Secretary-General, the Secretariat carries out important functions like maintaining official records of the UN, organizing meetings of the General Assembly and Security Council, study important issues like protection of human rights and disarmament, hold international conferences on global issues. Students, apart from the above 6 main organs of the UN, there are a few other organizations working for social and economic development of various nations. Let's know more about them. 1. The International Labour Organization. The International Labour Organization in Geneva mainly functions to improve the conditions of workers. It ensures that they get due wages and their health is protected, etc. Food and Agriculture Organization. This organization is located at Rome. Its main function is to solve the problem of poverty, malnutrition, and starvation in the world. It guides the process of enhancing food grain production. United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. This organization is located in Paris. The main function of this organization is to promote interaction between different countries in the fields of education, science and culture. It also tries to reduce illiteracy in the world. World Health Organization, Geneva. This organization is found at Geneva. It was established in Geneva to improve the physical and mental health of people in the world, carry out immunization campaigns to control epidemics, etc. Lastly, we will talk about the International Atomic Energy Agency in Vienna. This agency has been given the important task of keeping a check on the use of civil nuclear energy. It visits nuclear sites in different countries for inspection of the same.